Okay, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, April, almost said April, March 8th, 2021. And I hope you all had a great weekend. I certainly did. And we have about a half an hour before the market opens, so I have my coffee. As at 6 o'clock in the morning here, banana, something to eat, and of course water to hydrate, which is always good to have. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get into the markets here, and let's see what is going on. First up, options here. All right. So, first thing we're going to take a look at is the futures markets. Give us an idea of what we're looking at for the day. And the S&P futures are looking to open up down right about 1 point, so pretty flat on the day. We'll go into the economic calendar as well within this first half hour before the market opens, and then we'll see if there's any pre-market plays we might look at doing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, however, looks to be like it wants to open up about 104 points. So that's certainly good news as well. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look at oil, see what oil is doing. We have oil down 19 cents, so that means in the pre-market, if oil is down 19 cents, then U.S. oil is most likely down a little bit too. So just a hair, 15 cents down on the open, but we'll see what happens after it opens. Okay. Check the bond market with the 20-year treasuries. We're looking at those going up about 27 cents. Okay. And then we'll see on the bottom here, after the market opens, you have both the S&P 500 will trade up there, as well as the VIX, which is the volatility index down here. And the reason the VIX again is important is because that is something that, as the market sentiment, or as I call the VIX, the fear factor, as that goes up, the S&P 500 will go down. As volatility is lessened, S&P 500 goes up. It's pretty much, if you look at these, they're almost like an inverse indicator. But what will happen in some cases, not all, but in some cases, depending on what happens with the volatility, you can front run the S&P 500. Let's say you're buying the SPY or something, or shorting the SPY. And let's go ahead and take a look at the economic calendar for the week. We have the CPI coming out on Wednesday, I believe. So today, wholesale inventories are looking to forecast at 0.9% up. Again, that's going to be updated in about an hour or so. So 10 a.m. Eastern time, so 7 a.m. Pacific. Tomorrow, small business index, not really any big news there, but on Wednesday, March 20th, at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 or an hour before the market opens, we're going to be getting the consumer price index. Consumer price index is forecasted to go up 0.4%, and we'll see what it was. It was 0.3% last month, so we'll see. And then core CPI. Federal budget for February, again, we'll see what that comes in at. Initial jobless claims, this is just a regular report looking at adding 735,000 jobs, so we'll see what happens on that one. And then the PPI, final demand producer price index, comes out on Friday, along with the University of Michigan, Consumer Sentiment Index. So we'll see. That's kind of what we're looking at there for this week. Next week, we have a lot going on with options expiration. But for this week, pretty much the big one is going to be the Consumer Price Index. And again, that's going to be released this coming Wednesday is what we're looking at on that one. We're going to have the S&P 500 heat map pulled up on here, of course. But again, that's a 15-minute delay. So those won't update for about another 45 minutes or so. And then we're going to be looking at the gas prices. Now let's go ahead and do an oil update, see where we're at on that. So this is an average, and again, I'm looking at pretty much U.S. oil. And what I've been saying on here, if you have checked out the channel before, is we took a look at U.S. oil, and I said, well, what has to happen or what will happen if oil goes up to where are we at here? $4.50 an ounce. And what I said was, well, if oil goes up to $4.50 an ounce, that's going to put U.S. oil up around the $70 range or so. Let me make this a little bit smaller here. I'll pull it down. And so what I did was I put an alert up here at the $70 range, and we'll see if we end up hitting that area sometime this year. And again, that $100 range on U.S. oil isn't even talking about pre-pandemic levels. And so if you can talk about another 70-80% upside potential on U.S. oil just to get to $70, and that'll put gas around $4.50 a gallon or so. That's looking pretty good. If we look at the crude oil, and we look at light crude, and light crude futures right now currently trading down 11 cents. But again, this is on a weekly chart. We've had a huge upswing since November. Pretty much oil prices have been going up, as have gas prices as well. So if you were looking for a play for something a little bit longer term, short term, if you're looking for something a little bit more short term, say a year out, oil would not be a bad place to go. You have a couple different stocks you can participate in. You have ExxonMobil. Let me go to the daily chart. And daily chart on ExxonMobil is well above its 50 and 200 moving day averages, and trading a little bit above the volume weighted average price as well. You can see this is tracking this, and this crossed again back to November again is when this crossed the VWAP, and then it's been consistently above that since then. Crossed the 200 50-day and 200 moving averages in December, about a month later. But again, you had a really nice buy signal down here, and wasn't confirmed until this candle up here. It had you sell off here because it thought it hit this $40, very small price retracement back down to the $41 level, and then up from there. And again, you get scalped this over a week and a half or so, and then just a consistent buy signal again since the 4th of February. So we are a month and a half into a solid buy signal on ExxonMobil. And we can take a look at CHX, Chevron, and their chart's going to look very similar. And it crossed it again. The 9th of November is when it crossed the VWAP, volume weighted average price, and then about a month later it crossed. But this one consolidated a little bit more before it started its upswing in early February. So looks like Chevron lags ExxonMobil just a little bit. The buy signal here on Chevron came out the 8th of February. If we take a look at ExxonMobil, the 3rd, so almost a week before ExxonMobil came out with its buy signal. So unknown whether that's really an indicator to look at and say, well, what ExxonMobil does, Chevron will do a week later. Not necessarily, but you can see here ExxonMobil did not have this extra consolidation phase that Chevron did over here, right? ExxonMobil had its run up, one retracement, and then right back up again. So two very, very good stocks. And then the third one, of course, is going to be U.S. oil. U.S. oil is an ETF. Again, this is not financial advice. This is strictly for entertainment and education. Consult your financial advisor, because if you follow what I do, you will probably lose all your money. So please be careful. Find some long-term plays. So U.S. oil, at least in the short term, I believe that this is going to head upwards to $70 or so. And that's based on volatility in the Middle East. If we look at, oops, let me get back over here. Sorry about that. And see if there's any news. Sector update. Energy stocks steady in pre-market Monday trading. U.S. oil fund was down 63%. United States natural gas fund, again, natural gas, be careful, was recently slipping by more than 1%. Again, 80-something% of the population lives above the equator. So natural gas, I think that's going to be a little bit lower until the summer as far as lagging the appreciation you're going to see in oil. Nothing real news on that. So let's go to Middle East news. Hey, quiet down over there. It's still morning. All right, let's take a look at news. Looks like the Pope went over to Iraq and had a visit. Had a visit over there. Let's see here. Lebanon protesters angry at ruling class block key roads. Okay, do some tires on the road. Y'all know tires burn black. Saudi attack helps wipe out oil's gain. What is this one? 9 minutes ago. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Let's take a look at this story real quick. It's with the internet this morning. A little bit slow. All that's running on Wi-Fi, by the way. All right. Brent oil erased gains as the market shrugged off an attack on the world's largest crude terminal in Saudi Arabia. So futures in London earlier surged above $71 a barrel, the highest since January. Hey, quiet. Oil has rebounded this year amid OPEC. All right, so I'll be right back. Let me go let her out one more time before the markets open here in 15 minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. All right, so back to the oil story. So again, oil is rebounded this year amid OPEC supply cuts. Later trading below $70. The assault on a storage tank farm at the Ras Tanura terminal on Sunday was intercepted, Saudi Arabia said, and oil output appeared to be unaffected. Oil has rebounded this year amid OPEC supply cuts and recovering demand. Again, we talked about this before, where the President Biden's administration has basically said they will not support Saudi Arabia in their battles against the Houthi rebels out of Yemen. And because of that, I think OPEC supply cuts. OPEC cut their supplies. And that comes along with recovering demand. So as demand recovers in oil and supply gets limited, eventually those two are going to cross, and that's going to cause another jump in oil, which is why we have the oil futures continually to go up. Where are we at here? Light crude on the daily, just a huge upside. You look at since May, really, but big, consolidation phase from June until November, and then a steady upswing since November on oil per barrel. And that's going to again be reflected in gas prices that will continue to go up. And where they tend to go up the most is in places where the taxes are highest on a per gallon level. And so you have Washington at $3.17, you have $3.75 for a gallon of gas in California, versus, let's say, Tennessee at $2.57 a gallon. So you have over $1 more taxes per gallon, probably in overall taxes, state, local, etc., in California, as you do in places like Tennessee or the South. Texas $2.50 a gallon. Wyoming $2.70, $2.60 in Montana, Idaho $2.72, Oregon $3.01, Washington $3.17, Nevada $3.10, Arizona $3.01, Illinois $2.93. So it all depends on where you're at. But again, this is something that so it looks like there was a small attack on the big tank farm at Ras Tanura. Let's see, terminals capable of exporting about 6.5 million barrels a day, almost 7% of all demand, and as such is one of the world's most protected facilities. It is the most serious attack on Saudi oil installations since a key processing facility in 2 oil fields came under fire in September 2019. The assault follows a recent escalation of hostilities in the Middle East region after Yemen's Houthi rebels launched a series of attacks on Saudi Arabia. The new administration also carried out airstrikes in Syria last month on sites it said were connected with Iran-backed groups. So we'll see what happens there. And again, gasoline prices march towards $3 a gallon. This is this is the Houston Chronicle. So this is the Texas newspaper. And 3 cents over the week, or 3 cents over the week and 3 cents over the week. That doesn't make sense. National average is 41 cents higher than a year ago. So right now, gas, compared to a year ago, when demand slumped right at this point, it was pretty much this week where we said, hey, 2 weeks to flatten the curve and we'll be back to normal. And that, of course, didn't happen. And there are many areas of the country that are still locked down, but there's a lot of areas that have opened up. Okay. So oil, again, I think it's something that that is a very, very good play going forward. Is it too late to get into it? I don't know. ExxonMobil, pretty solid stuff, and ExxonMobil pays a very decent dividend too, of 87 cents a share. Chevron's dividend, where are we at here? $1.29 a share. So and those paid out last month. So or they may even pay out right now. I'm not exactly sure on that one. Let's take a look at, I do want to look at, before we get going here, and that's not a good one. Where's the one? Again, back to Yahoo. I don't want Yahoo stuff. I didn't click on Yahoo, I clicked on NASDAQ. Xpeng coming out today. You have Oracle coming out on Wednesday. You have AMC after the close. Let's see. There was. Everybody's just got a list. I want a chart. All right, let me go into. I don't want to listen to Kramer right now. Okay, so we've got about 6 minutes before the market opens. Let's see here. Oh, Reddit. That's where I saw that one at. Let's see here. If this works. This is the one I'm looking for. It looks like, stockaholics.net. Maybe. Our stock market. Yeah, let's see if we can find the chart on here. Scroll down. Or let's do a search. Go back up. All right, so we'll come back to that. Okay, so again, looking at the markets as they're about to open here, we have the S&P 500 now actually turning in the green. The S&P 500 mini futures that trade on the CME are up 3.75, so 0.10%. And let's look at the Dow futures. Dow futures are trading up 126. So let's take a look at some of the movers and see what they're doing here right before the open. We have AMC is up 48 cents, almost 6% pre-market. We have GameStop is up $17 pre-market, up to 12%. Ford up 9 cents. Bitcoin staying above 50,000. That's pretty good. Ethereum 1735. Real nice run and separation from Bitcoin over the weekend of Ethereum. If you look at the year performance, look at this, folks. This is something interesting. So Bitcoin over the last 12 months is up 457%. Okay, so 457%. Ethereum over the last 12 months is up 669%. So you have a 212% outperformance over the last 52 weeks, year over year, of Ethereum over Bitcoin. I like Ethereum better than Bitcoin, even as a store of value, and it seems to be like it's starting to move towards a store of value. AMD, let's go into the chip stocks. AMD is looking to close lower by 18 cents. Intel is looking to trade lower by 17 cents, and that means NVIDIA is most likely looking to trade lower. Actually, NVIDIA looks up 80 cents. So bucking the trend. I don't think there's any news on NVIDIA here. Nope, there isn't. So, all right, so I'm going to get my broker software, my trading software up on here as well. And let's see here. There we go. All right. So 2 minutes until the bell. Tesla trading up $5.57. Again, over that key $600 range is what we're looking for out of Tesla, and we're looking for it to hold that $600 as well through the week. So again, big monthly expirations on options don't close out until March 19th. So you just have a regular options expiration week. Okay, Rocket, again, if you had bought Rocket for the dividend, it's actually trading down 15 cents on the pre-market. Let's look at the Dow futures. Go to the 5-minute chart. Let's go to 30-second chart. See what's happening here. Above its 50 and 200 period average on the 30-second chart. So that's certainly good news. Okay. And about another minute and we'll be open. So let's hop back over to the S&P 500 here. And again, this is the exact same chart as what we have down below here as well. So what we have down below, S&P 500 on the top, volatility index on the bottom, and then the S&P 500 over here. Should be coming up about 10 seconds, and we'll have the bell. Good luck today. Let's have a green day. Everything green. Come on. All right, here we go. Market open. All right, so right off the bat, we have the S&P 500 with a nice move upwards, 10.9 points, and then the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's take a quick look at that. Opens up as well. So all three indices are in the green. The Dow making a big move, up 169 points. Actually 182 on the Dow right now. We have the Nasdaq Composite still waiting to open, and the S&P 500 is up 10 points. So nice move up, and again, usually when that happens, you'll have a quick bounce down a little bit before it bounces back up again. Let me let her out. We can let her run a little bit so she stops playing. All right, come here. Want to say hello? Come here. Say hello. All right, there she is. So we're all three in the green right now. We have the Dow up good morning, 142, S&P up 4, hello, and the Nasdaq Composite down 32. So she's had her breakfast and she's been fed, went outside. This is Liberty. She's the most awesomest, best dog in the world, and just a sweetheart. Okay, down. Okay. All right, let's take a look at some of the movers and see what's going on. Let's take a look at Tesla. We have Tesla is down 2 points right now, so pretty much flat on the morning here. So that's probably actually a good thing. Nvidia down $1.64. Again, that was up pre-market 80 cents, but looks like that was a false flag, and that's pretty much trading down another $2.52. Again, this thing is going to struggle at this $500 level for the week, and probably maybe through options monthly expirations next week. So tech sector getting hit again right off the open. You have Apple. Oops. Apple showing down $1.99. That's heading south. We have Microsoft heading south, $1.81. Intel down 42 cents. AMD down 56 cents. TMSC, Taiwan Semiconductor, who makes all the chips for a lot of the chips for TSM. Where are we at here? TSM, sorry. TSM down $2.80. So all the chippies are down, and looks like this market techs are coming down again. Let's look at AMC and GameStop. Liberty, come here. You have AMC is actually up 47 cents, so nice little move there off the open. And then GameStop was also up in the pre-market, and it is now up $23 or 16%. So a 16% run on GameStop right now. If you bought this on the open, you're in a nice little uptrend here, well above its 50 and 200 day moving averages. or 50 period moving averages. And even if you look on the daily, it's had a nice run on top of VWAP here. Had a little bit of a consolidation phase in late February, just kind of hung out, and now we got a nice little move. Again, AMC is one of the companies that reports earnings coming out this Wednesday after the close. The CEO was on CNBC on Friday and talking about the recovery that they had. He made some really nice money last year, basically saving the company from bankruptcy, and so it's something that with theaters opening, this was the first weekend where theaters were open in New York. They were closed last week for Tom and Jerry. This week they were open, and there was a Disney movie that came out. I think it did 8 million in the opening weekend, something like that. So box office for AMC actually looked pretty decent over the weekend as places open up. Of course, you still have like California still locked down probably forever. Who knows? I'm trying to do a recall effort in California for Governor Newsom. Don't know if that's going to get any traction or take place either. All right, so again, we're heading south on the Dow, south on the S&P, and the volatility is moving up a little bit. Again, the stimulus was passed by the Senate over the weekend, and so again, they don't have to sign that thing till later this week. But right now, it goes back to the House of Representatives. And basically they will have to vote again on the changes that the Senate made in their bill, and still looking at the $1,400, the unemployment premium of plus $300 versus what the state is giving folks, and they're going to take that out through August, and we'll see about moratoriums that are scheduled to end on March 31st. I think those are going to be extended out until August, I believe, and so people that haven't been paying their rent for a year still don't have to pay their rent, and those landlords are out all their money, and they will probably never see it again. There were really the amount of relief for landlords. I read a couple stories over the weekend locally here about the city council in the city of Seattle that has absolutely no programs whatsoever. They pass additional ordinances in the city of Seattle that basically says landlords have no recourse. If somebody just chooses to not pay their rent, they don't have to pay their rent, and they can't be evicted either. And so you have a lot of that happening, and a lot of these folks are in forbearance now on their mortgages because even if people are working, they don't have to pay their rent. So that's not good for business. It's not good for cities. And it's not good for investments, and it's not going to be good for the housing market going forward. So the Dow is struggling here. Let's take a look at Boeing and some of the airlines. Back over onto the 30-second chart here. So we have Boeing up $2.51. We have Love Southwest up $1.34. Nice move, again 2% here. They're carrying the Dow Jones Industrial Average a little bit. If we have American Airlines up 25 cents, Delta up 68 cents, United Airlines up $1.10, and Alaska Air Group up $1. So very nice move in that sector again. Let's take a look at the energy side of things again. Flat on ExxonMobil. Chevron up 8 cents, and U.S. oil down 43 cents. Okay, Rocket Mortgage down about $1, and so we'll see what happens with this one. Looks like a little buying opportunity, maybe not. It's struggling with the buy signal listed right here on this one, but it did break this candle with a higher low, and that's why it gave this signal. So this could be basically a nice 3-bar play here on Rocket Mortgage, and might be leaning towards a little bit of a recovery being down. So if you're looking for a quick scalp, Rocket looks like it's setting up pretty nicely. We have the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. It looks like the blue line is just about ready to cross the red. So if you want to front run that, again, not a whole lot of strength, but it's deciding what to do. There we go. There's the cross, And so again, that was a nice play. So if you just watch that live, if you were able to get in on that, that's actually looks pretty good here. Very, very, very short term on a 30-second chart, well below its 50 and 200 period averages. Let's look at the 5-minute chart on this one. Again, this is coming from Friday, so you're just looking at 5 minutes. You know, 2 candles over here, but well below. But very, very, very short term for scalpers that are out there. Now it's deciding what it wants to do. A little bit of a doji there. We got on this candle that just started, but again, higher highs, higher lows, certainly leading to a little bit more. All right, so averages, we have the Dow up 147 and NASDAQ just went green, up 340. So let's see, Dow Jones up 160. S&P 500 up 5. So the drain on the markets today again is the tech sector. It's down 47, but it looks like again it wants to do the same thing we just saw on Rocket. It wants to make this play up towards VWAP. What's going to be critical on the NASDAQ composite is what it does with the averages here, and not even necessarily. Let's go up to a 3-minute on the 30-second. But the 5-minute, if it holds above this area here. So coming up on its VWAP for its 50 and 200 period moving average. Watch that for a minute. And while it's doing that, I want to check our movers. Again, GameStop and AMC, big movers today. GameStop up 13%, AMC up 6%. So that's certainly looking pretty decent there. And let's see here. And we have Ford up today. A bit of a loss there. Okay, so market's starting to come back. NASDAQ's looking to get into positive territory. So we'll see what happens here. Again, the U.S. House of Representatives, if you were to type in stimulus news here. And let's go to the news tab. 10-year Treasury yield rises 1.6% after Senate passes stimulus. Stimulus payments could go out late this week if House passes Senate bill. Again, House still has to pass their bill, okay? Then President Biden has to sign it, and then you can go there. Third stimulus check calculator. See how much money you'd get from the American Rescue Plan. Let's take a look at this one just for a second here. So it's $1,400 if you have joint income up to $150,000, or if you're single up to $75,000 a year. A little misleading. Third stimulus check calculator. See how much money you'd get from the American Rescue Plan. All right, here we go. Have you filed 2000? So it's going off of either 2019 or 2020 taxes. Let's say you made $80,000. Income was too high to qualify for the relief payment. Wow. So at $75,000, you reach and up to $150,000. $155,000, you still get. Let's see here, $175,000. 0. 160, 0. So they're saying at $155,000 joint income, you get $1,400. If you are single, it really drops down. Look at that, $2,000 more than $7,700. You're at almost half of the stimulus. So that really drops off the cliff at 75,000. So if you do make below 75,000 and you're single, you're going to get 1,400. If you're married, it's up to 150,000 joint income will get you the full 2,800. So let's see what else I have. Okay, all three indices are in the green now, so we're making a nice move back to the north. Here's the NASDAQ, nice recovery here as the House gets ready to quick debate on the stimulus. And again, if they pass that thing, that's the good news. And then we talked about the economic calendar for this week, where we have the CPI coming out on Wednesday, and initial claims, jobless claims, regular stuff on Thursday. So CPI on Wednesday is going to be the big mover for that. So we have the NASDAQ up now 49. We have the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is now up 227 points. And we have the S&P 500, which is now up just a little over 19. So 0.5% on the S&P, we're up. The Dow is up about 0.7%, 0.69%. And whoops, let me go back up here. Oops, oh, I had this clicked the other way, sorry. There we go, where are we at? And the NASDAQ is up a nice 0.33%. So quick recovery in techs, and we are about to get our first heat map update here in another minute. Let me do a function F5 and see if this refreshes yet. Not yet. So, but this will, again, this is going to lag by 15 minutes. So whenever they decide to update it. Okay, so nice move there. Some of the big movers on the day so far for stuff that we like on this channel. So GameStop, again, up 11%, slight pullback there from off of its daily high. AMC 886, huge move there for them, up 9.55%. And again, they report earnings on Wednesday after the close. So super nice move on AMC today. Yeah, big time move on AMC today. Let's see, that puts that move right there has put my AMC calls that expire on March 19th in the green. So definitely a green day across the board for me on just about everything I own, the exception being USO is actually down a little bit today, but Ford is up nicely today, another 26 cents, another 2% there. So average is looking good. Dow Jones up 213 points, S&P 500 up 21 points, NASDAQ Composite up 65. So initially we'll take a look at the heat map here. And there we go. So dull, this is lagging by 15 minutes. So you'll see in another 15 minutes, a lot of these that are a little bit in the gray and a little minor red are going to show up as green. As we know, I'll bet Microsoft took a turn, and they're probably only down a little bit right now. Nvidia coming back off its bottom, but still down $3.65. Apple still down $1.73. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Amazon, Tesla, we have Tesla up. Tesla, nice move for them, up 2.86%. Again, we talked about this right at the open, how they were going to, the battle is going to be for that $600 range today, and it's definitely above that by $15 or so. So 2.79%, nice move for Tesla there, off the bottom there. But really, the what's going on today in the area to look at. You have Workhorse up 4.9%. Ford up 20 cents. Oshkosh up 79 cents. Palantir making an appearance again, still below that 25 level, but they're up 24. They're up 24 cents. And let's come back over here and let's take a look at the NASDAQ Composite. So NASDAQ Composite up 37 points right now. S&P up 17. So this is kind of one of these days, folks. Not a lot happening in the market. Very, still got some volatility going on. If you look at the VIX, VIX went up on the open and then turned around and went down. Now it's curling up just a little bit, so inverse. S&P up, now it's pulling back just a hair, with the S&P being up 16. So the tech sector, again, we have quite a few that are selling off in the tech sector again today. All the chip makers seem to basically be down. AMD just flipped green, up 2 cents. Intel up 13 cents, so flat. Nvidia is the big one that's down, 446, down to 493. Okay. Quick look at the precious metal market, and we have silver bouncing between, again, very, very flat on the day, $25 or so. We have platinum, though, back up $12.58 per ounce, and palladium down $8 an ounce to the 2,300 range. Again, platinum trying to battle for that $1,200 per ounce, and silver trying to battle for or keep above $25 an ounce on those. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin still holding above 50,000 from over the weekend. And I did a video that was posted yesterday on miners and the effect on Ethereum and a change that they have to their mining income that may cause a drop in mining income by about 30% or so. If that happens and you're a gamer and you are looking for a graphics card, July. They'll start selling off probably right before that. So June or July is my guess of when graphic cards will be available to just about anybody that wants them, probably at regular, just MSRP regular prices. As we know that so many of those are sold out across the board. So Ethereum and Bitcoin holding their levels, ETH holding above 1,700 and Bitcoin holding above 50,000. We did have some news over the weekend that there are some Chinese companies in Hong Kong that are making purchases now in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you have people making the play in crypto, corporations that are buying assets instead of buying, a stock or something like that. They're putting some of their money, and the question is, are they putting money into Bitcoin and Ethereum as stores of value and as a hedge against the stock market and volatility? So, and just like that, we are now back down on the NASDAQ composite on the day, down 27, and we just took a big turn as volatility is going up. Let's see if I'm missing any other news today. Let's see, this is from 15 minutes ago. U.S. could send $1,400 COVID bill payments within days. Child tax credit a challenge. So that's the battle in the House, I guess. Let's see. GE, a little bit in the news. They're up 28 cents. Rush to Bitcoin, not so fast. They keepers of corporate coffers. Americans flock to movies, bars, and ballparks after winter of worry. So that's good. GameStop taps Ryan Cohen to steer shift to e-commerce. That's good news for GameStop. And of course, that was up big time today, along with AMC. U.S. government to expand biofuels forecasts as renewable diesel sector grows. Okay, we'll see. Latin Americans beg and borrow to pay COVID-19 debts. Let's see if there's anything else here I'm missing. Nope. Canada eyes tighter rules for grow your own pot producers up in Canada. There we go. And up in Minnesota, the first trial for one of the police officers accused in the killing of George Floyd starts this week with jury selection. So we'll see if the protests / riots start up again. Okay. So again, we have the NASDAQ is in red territory again. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Back in the red. Tesla down 1.75%. Again, this lags by 15 minutes. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla is up 2.49. Apple down 266. Microsoft down $1.66. So again, tech heading south again. Nvidia down $8. So Nvidia is probably going to battle for options expiration this week at that 500 level. So not looking super good there on that one. AMD, however, is down 62 cents. So again, these things are going to waffle back and forth with what's going on in the markets here. Intel and AMD were up earlier, and now they're both down. But Dow Jones is handling things pretty good. Boeing is up quite a bit. Let me go into my 8 chart here. Hey. All layouts. And let's take a quick look. Okay. So these are live charts, all 30 seconds on Boeing at the top left, reading from left to right. Boeing, AMD, Intel, Microsoft, Palantir, Nvidia. This should actually say Tesla. Oops, missed that first one there. Okay, and Tesla and U.S. oil. So this tells you really what the market is doing in some of these bigger company stocks. And I like looking at that one just to get a good inkling of what's going on in the markets. And of course, S&P, now we're back in the green again on all three. NASDAQ up 6, Dow up 255, S&P up 16. But still have some tech heavy stuff that's down on the day. The chip makers, AMD, Nvidia, Intel, all down on the day. Barely on AMD and Intel, but Nvidia was down about $8 or so. So let's go back over to the 3 chart. Lead, yes. And again, if you look down here, the S&P 500. This is where we were at on the open. Nice pop up, down, up, back retracement a little bit, down or up, then back down. So we'll see what happens here. And let's just watch the battle for tech today. There we go. Got an extra chart open there. Okay. And I'm going to try and find something for you guys, so give me a second here. That's not what I'm looking for. So now the S&P 500 also turned negative on the day as the tech sell-off continues. And let's see here. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. It's on my desktop. Okay, I can close this out and find it. There it is. Up here. All right. Okay, so what I wanted to look at is I did want to let you guys know what we have going on for the week as far as earnings go. And as the Dow, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, about a 100-point drop from off of its high of the day. Dow Jones is currently up 150, NASDAQ is up 231, S&P 500 is down 50.93. So if we look at the heat map, watch the colors change. Okay, a little bit brighter day. Tesla's up a little bit. Amazon's up a little bit. But let's go into earnings for the week and see what we have on tap here. So today, nothing of any, Xpeng, Chinese EV car maker reported before the open. I'm not in it, so after the close today, we have Wish. Who cares? Del Taco, not much going on there. Tomorrow, Dick's Sporting Goods. Not a lot going on there. Sonos. On Wednesday, though, a little bit bigger of a day. A lot going on Wednesday. Before the open, you have Tupperware. But after close, you have AMC and Oracle are the two big ones as far as volume goes of shares traded on the exchanges. Oracle and AMC are the big ones Wednesday after close. And DocuSign on Thursday after the close. And that's about it for major companies for earnings for the week. So we do have some earnings coming out again. Wednesday is going to be the big day as far as that goes for earnings for this week with Oracle and AMC after the close. So you have those available. So what we'll do now is we'll go into the chip makers and see what's going on with the EV makers this week. Baidu down 13, Blink up $1. That's a nice move. 3% rise on them. Li Auto up 2 cents. Here's XPEV. XPEV is up 24 cents. So not a lot there. Let's see what they did here. Here we go. XPEV's fourth quarter revenue surges with vehicle deliveries driven by the P7 sedan. Again, XPeng is a China manufacturer, China-based smart EV maker. Okay, So they're in there. Let's see here. Deliveries up 303% year on year. But again, as you're just getting started, you would hope to see that. But, you know, that 1 year, 12,964 units. Company like Ford does that in a week. Probably no, less than a week, probably even a day. Something like that. So very small. But the market in China for EV, electric vehicle makers, is huge. You have so many people over there, you know, a billion people almost. So that could bode well for them. NIO trading down almost 2.5%. Tesla was up. So here's the lag I'm talking about. So you see how Tesla is down $3? Watch this. 15-minute lag, up 2.2%. So you can't really watch these heat maps too closely, where they're down 0.5%. So that's a 2.5% swing when you're getting delayed quotes. So if you need to check that on your stuff. If you're getting delayed quotes, you should probably look for somewhere where you can pay for live quotes or log into your brokerage account, and you should be able to get live quotes there. Plug Power up $1.28, nice move for them. Workhorse up 22 cents, 1.7, nice move for them. Fuel Cell up 1.78. So most of the EV space companies are trading up today, which is good. All right, so good stuff there. Take a look at our dividend companies, and I wanted to add Rocket to this watch list. Again, Rocket goes X today. They're up 63 cents, which is a nice move forward. And I think my buy on Rocket, let's see, I bought 750 shares altogether, I think. Yeah. And that was at 24.81. 4.81. Oops, where are we at? 24.81. Plus, I'll get a $1.11 dividend divided into 25.67. So I'm up a good 3% since my buy on Friday on Rocket. So that's certainly nice to see today. So that's $226 in one account I'm up, and in my other account I'm up $300. And in my retirement account, I bought 500 shares of Rocket, and that is up about $1,000, $925 or so. They're up today. Why does this show 60? That's weird. So I use Charles Schwab Street Smart Edge, and it looks like it's change meter is not working very good today. Yeah, it's seriously lagging. There's a bar where I can see my balances and see what I'm up or down for the day, but it doesn't match, and it's off by $300. So my taxable account, I'm actually up $68 as the market turns again to the upside. But my little bar at the top says I'm down $200. So it's about a $300 error. So sometimes those accounts don't exactly match up. So indices again. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Nice move upwards. Little recovery here off of its bottom on the day. Up 229 points. Good stuff there. S&P 500 up about 14.8 points. So good job there. And let's go. We'll come back to dividends in a second. And then the NASDAQ is down 9.88 cents there. So dividend stocks. So Rocket announced a dividend back in February, and the X date is today. The record date or record date is the 9th, tomorrow, and the payable date is March 23rd. So what they announced back in February, which accounts for this move here, 26th of February, boom, March 2nd, huge upside as they announced and this is people front running the dividend. So what I like to do on dividends is if they announce something goofy where historically they pay out, let's see the last time they paid one. If they're paying out 30 cents or so and they announce a huge dividend of $1.11 per share, okay, and that goes X date today, the 8th, all right, and then record date tomorrow, and then it's going to be payable on March 23rd. So you have to hold it through the record date. So you have to hold it through tomorrow's close. You can sell it on Wednesday and still get the dividend. Okay, so I bought it purely for a dividend play. And what will happen is once that thing records, when it's paid out, the stock will go. Well, it'll basically, when it records it, the stock will go down equal to the amount of the dividend. So the stock is going to go down $1.11. And what you're looking for is then you're looking for it to pop back up. And I'll usually hold it until it comes back up, unless the sentiment is down and I'm already profitable on it. And then I'll sell it, take my gain and take my dividend and run for the hills. So at 750, so my dividend, so I basically bought the right to get $832.50 of a dividend, and my hope is that the company will not dilute as far as the sentiment in the company overall won't drive the stock price down lower than that, because I think my break even, I think I put an alert on for, let's see here, for 23.73. So 23.73, I have an alert on Rocket that if it goes down below that, my dividend buy is basically a loss at that point if it drops at 23.73. So what that means is right now it's at 26.40. So 26.40 minus 23.73, I'd have to have it drop $2.67. So I bought that on Friday when it was down in the market, and somewhere around here, I forget where. It might have been off of this buy signal over here, but on Friday I did purchase shares in both my margin account as well as my one of my retirement accounts, to front run the dividend. And sometimes these work out, sometimes they don't. But some of the ones that I like for dividends, 3M. I like 3M, and let's look at what they pay. Okay. Last dividend on 3M, $1.48. Okay. Kimberly-Clark, $1.14 per share. Cisco Systems, 36-cent dividend. Microsoft, you're like, what? Microsoft pays a dividend? Yes, they do. 56 cents per share. ExxonMobil, get ready for this one. 87 cents a share. Nice chart. Nice chart on ExxonMobil. Johnson & Johnson, $1. Nice dividend play there. Mondelez, 32 cents. ADNC Investment Corp, 12 cents. SPG, Simon Property Group, again, careful, very, very careful with this one. $1.30, but again, you're seeing a play here as the economy reopens. People are wanting to get back into Simon Property Group. They think people are going to go back to the malls. We'll see. If the mall has a theater, maybe they'll go back. All right. NLI Capital Group, 22 cents. Target, as they say. Again, great run on this company too. 68 cents. And Rocket with their special dividend of $1.11 today. Okay. So dividend stocks can be a good income stream opportunity. Again, you're taxed on those most likely, but consult your tax advisor as this is not financial or tax advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor, so this is all for strictly education and entertainment. If you do what I do, you will lose your money because usually I'll just tell you about what I did versus what I plan to do. But there are some plays I talk about live as I'm making them too. So let's go back into the market overall. Again, the NASDAQ is taking a turn again south, and you're going to see that reflected over here. Boom, green to red, just like that. Okay, so NASDAQ is down 13. S&P barely holding on, about 0.5%, so they're up 18 on the day. And the big mover on the day is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, things of value, and that is up 293 on the day. Looking at the heat map, you say, well, what's doing well today? You have financials. Financials are up today. You have information technology companies are up today. Disney up a little bit today in an area where most of them are down. Techs, Home Depot, Lowe's, both up today. You have the energy sector. Again, light oil crude is down a little bit today. Might present a buying opportunity. Utilities up, basic materials up, industrials up. So with that, you have a mix of stuff that's up, and the old boring companies are basically up, while the rest of the tech sector is down, with some offshoots here and there. Oracle, people are buying Oracle basically. Let's take a look at them because they're buying that stock based on earnings that come out on Wednesday after the close. And so, unless you bought it last week, you're taking a little bit of risk here as it's on its 52-week highs. So this is the highest it's been. There is a thing called, buy on the rumor, sell on the news. They report, and they're expected to report, I think, where's it at? $1.11 per share, and where they were last time, they were still losing money. In other words, and they've been consistently missing their estimates each time. But if you look at what happened, they report earnings, stock went up. They report earnings, stock went up. Earnings, stock went up. Earnings, stock went up. So, you have to go back through to a year ago, a year and a quarter, back in December of 2019, before they reported earnings and went down. So, which is this one right here, Q3. So even with a loss, a company can go up. Now, people are buying that in anticipation. Look at this one before earnings. Okay. It popped up before earnings. Here's earnings here, prior quarter. It popped up before earnings. So you have this, but this is a much greater move to the upside on earnings. So be careful with this one. You're buying at a 52-week high. We'll see what happens on earnings. They're at, 72.02 right now, 72.01. Right on the $72 range is some of that built in. So I think you got to be careful with a company like Oracle. I don't think they have any specific news on them. No, we don't. So again, super, super quiet for them. NVIDIA had some news over the weekend, or not over the weekend, late last week, where they won a lawsuit or had a lawsuit dismissed against them on earnings from 2018 that some shareholders sued them based on under-reporting of mining income from people that were mining Ethereum and the graphic cards that they sold to them. So again, they're down another 2% today, not necessarily based on that news, but this is key support, this $500 level. If they can't hold this level, you might be lookout below if they don't rebound soon. And let's see here. Last news on them, February 25th, earnings was the last move. And it went south from there. So again, tech sector continuing to get beat up, but more of them are turning a little bit greeny now. So it's starting to look a little bit better. You have Amazon. Back up on the day, $33, almost 1%. Apple, still down 233. Microsoft, up 82 cents, looking good there. AMD, down 77 cents. Intel, up 63 cents. And I don't think they had any. Here's one. DARPA program. Intel and Microsoft partner to work on DARPA's Deprive program. Deprive? Intel said Monday it has teamed up with Microsoft to perform the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, DARPA, who created the internet, in virtual environment programs, or Deprive. Data Protection in Virtual Environments Program. Under the program, which aims to develop an accelerator for fully homomorphic encryption, multiple Intel groups will work together to develop a data protection technology that will enable users to compute on always encrypted data or cryptograms. The technology will be tested using Microsoft's cloud offerings, including Microsoft Azure and Microsoft Jedi Cloud, the chipmaker said. So that could be some good stuff for both Intel and Microsoft on both of those. So with that news, people seeing that as a positive catalyst possibly. So Intel moving up 1.14% on that, and Microsoft going up 1.23 on that. So all three indices are back in the green again. Here we go. Just a mostly quiet day on the tech sector. It just keeps going back between up 40, down 20, up 30, down 30. Just this waffling stuff. And if you look at the 5-minute chart, you'll see what I'm talking about. And where are we at here? Here's today. Down, up, down, but it wants to go north. It wants to stay north. So we'll see what happens on this as we turn into a green day. There we go. So that's looking pretty good there. And we've got about another hour or so of broadcast, and then we're going to take a break, and we'll be back at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern time for the last hour and a half of the market where we stream, and we go into Power Hour and talk about any news on the day. So if you take a look at the VIX, what happens again, this is something, if you're not following it, you should. It will give you big moves either up or down. So as the VIX trades down, which it is a little bit here, the S&P 500 will be going up. Inverse relationship. And those are the two that I have down here in this level. So that's something you can definitely take a look at. So looking like a green day here. Take a look, see if this thing is still lagging. It is. Wonder why that is. That doesn't make sense. Let's see. So I should be. Wow, nice move. We'll come over to that one in a second. Everything's up. Right there. And I'm going to talk to you guys about something. Yeah, so I'm up a little over $4,200 today, so not a bad day. We'll see if it holds out, and I'm up. It doesn't equal profit because I haven't sold anything today. But I want to take a look at something, and this is a company that I'm super excited about, and I'll tell you why. When you look at the EV makers, here's who else should be included on this list. Two of them. Ford and GM. Okay? And the reason why is we talked about XPeng earlier and how they came out with earnings. Wow, they made 12,000 more vehicles than they did last year. Okay, great. They're up 2%. if you look at the United States EV market outside of Tesla, who's going to take, why is Tesla down $300? Because as every other manufacturer starts coming out with electric vehicles, the shares that they're going to be biting into are Teslas. And there was something where, who was it? Elon Musk came out with a tweet last week and said that, there's only two companies that didn't take bailout money and never filed for bankruptcy, and they were Tesla and Ford. And this was based on reports of the EMAC, the Mustang electric vehicle that Ford came out with, that just came out this quarter, and they were subject to the chip shortages as well. And where Ford is directly taking market share from is Tesla. And here's why. If you go to Ford.com, look at if you have not seen the EMAC of Ford, you are missing out on something. I've not been to a dealer. I would love to go to a dealer and take a look at it. Proud to be the 2021 North American Truck and Utility Vehicle of the Year. The 2021 F-150, again, the world's best-selling truck, and a 2021 Mustang Mach-E. Look at this thing. It is beautiful. It is a great-looking car. And if you take a look at electrified, here we go. Look what they have. Hybrid available in the F-150, hybrid available in the Explorer, all electric, plug-in hybrid in the Fusion cars. People still buying cars. The Escape hybrid, Fusion hybrid, but they're 100% all electric vehicles starting at $42,895. Is the Mustang Mach-E. Just a fantastic looking car, SUV. Okay, starts at $42,895. So not including a $7,500 federal tax credit. But look at this thing. It is fantastic. The cockpit is beautiful. Carries the Mustang moniker. Carries the back end. Those absolutely stunning lights. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds with a 300-mile range. But they're coming out with an extended range battery a little bit later on in the summer as well. But that one's going to be a little bit more. This one is going to be, huge this summer. And so what is that reflected in the stock price? So so if you have a company like Tesla, watch this chart. Look at this. $900, right? $900. Now watch this when I show you Ford. Which one has more upside? Let's take a look at the weekly. Are we going back to 2014 levels of $17 a share? Never took a bailout. They never took a bailout, and they're being rewarded, and they're gonna electrify all of their cars. Okay, this is nothing. All these hybrids that they have on everything else is nothing compared to what they're going to be doing. The Mustang Mach-E is just the start. They're going to go with fully electric vehicles in every single line that they have. And so, this is something that just a fantastic opportunity. The California Route 1 Premium GT, 60,000. Okay, and right now they're taking pre-orders or reservations on them, and the first edition, I believe, is already out on the roads at $58,300. The Select is basically their basic model. Okay. Premium, just a super looking car. And it's awesome looking. I don't know if I'll get one. I'm actually looking at them, but I'd like to see one in a dealer and maybe take one for a ride. and leave my wallet at home while I do so. But great story on Ford, great recovery off of the pandemic bottom back in last March. If you got in at $4 a share, I forget what my cost basis is overall on this one, because I bought some more shares of it, and let's see here. The last time I bought it, where am I at? So my cost basis on Ford, and I have 5,000? Yeah, I have 5,000 shares of Ford with a cost basis of $9.88. So my cost basis is $9.88. So I'm up in this range here, which was back in January, which is when I bought additional shares of it. I bought some back here, but I averaged up and bought some more. So my average is 988, and it's so on this particular, on Ford right now, I'm up 28% on Ford. My U.S. oil is up quite a bit, but just a great story, and that one's only going to get better on Ford. I think they're going to continue. So pretty good. So we've got about an hour left in the markets before I take a break, not for the day. And we are sitting in green territory. Watch this turn to brighter green. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. So again, this is a heat map of the S&P 500, and it gives you a good, just a good look at what's going on in the overall markets. And everything is looking pretty green today, which is good as we get more news. Let's see here. Anything breaking? These are the same thing. They're talking about child tax credits being a challenge. $1,400 COVID payments could go out within days if the House signs their version of the bill. So that looks like things are turning up after last week. Again, we had a really nice recovery on Friday in the markets, and that looks to be at least interim carrying over to today. So if you bought some of these things on when they drop down, be careful with the tech ones. If you're looking at ones that have made a recovery off of this bottom, like Tesla, let me go into the 5 minutes. Sorry about that, or 30 seconds. Sorry. If you caught this bottom down here this morning, right after it opened, good for you. You're up a pretty good penny. 586 divided into 610. That was a 4% move. So for you scalpers out there, very nice play on that one. If we look at other EV makers, almost every one of them is up on the day. And then the other one is GM, and GM, not quite the same story as Ford, but they've been going up too. And again, because they're catching up. If you think that Ford and GM are just going to sit back and let Tesla rule the country, they're not. Tesla may have been at the forefront of it, but you have companies like GM and Ford that have the potential to take market share from Tesla, as Tesla has all that money in their R&D, and they need to drive down the price of their electric vehicles to meet what Ford and GM are going to be able to subsidize their entire line to take market share away from Tesla. So, GM wants to, we're making electric vehicles for all. So, let's take a look at this. We're committed to putting every driver in an electric vehicle on a scale previously unseen and bringing the world to an all-electric future. This picture, though, showing nothing but a frame, that makes me think that they're not ready yet. that they are not ready, that they're only just getting started. And wow, whoever does your marketing, we'll see. Ultium platform, range, power, and flexibility for all. So what they're showing you here is they're basically showing you weight. They're showing you where the batteries sit, their platform, their battery, part of the Ultium system, modular flexible design, and a common cell across different vehicle types. The battery is the heart of the Ultium system. The system uses cells stacked vertically, pickups and SUVs, or horizontally, performance vehicles, allowing us to build electric vehicles for every customer and segment. So what they are going to do is they are going to use a common system of batteries within their line. So, and that's nothing, that's nothing new. Boy, that's the Hummer. It doesn't even look attractive to me. I think Ford is the better play. Brands. All right, let's go to Chevy and close out this one. And so you saw on Ford's website, the first thing they talked about, if you went to Ford, is look at the difference between the two companies. Ford, right at the top, SUVs, trucks, electrified cars, all vehicles. And then they're bragging about their North American Truck and Utility Vehicle of the Year. 2021 Ford Mustang, or 2021 F-150, and 2021 Mustang Mach-E. Contrast that with, say, Chevy. Just talking about their truck. They throw a truck on the front. Nothing about electric vehicles in the brand. So how do I find a hybrid on GM's website? Okay, if I go to vehicles, maybe, will that help me out? And drop down SUVs, trucks, electric. Here we go. That's it. The Bolt. Arriving summer 2021. Bolt EV starting at $36,000. Which one do you want to buy? You're going to spend $36,000 on a subcompact, as shown $41,000, or you can get a Mustang for $46,000 or $42,000. Look at this. This isn't even night and day. This isn't even night and day. You have a Chevy Bolt, $41,415. Okay. And it just looks like I don't even know what it looks like. I mean, it's okay looking. Cockpit's okay. But, aesthetically speaking, this is a very small car, folks. Very small. Contrast that with the Ford Mustang. And I'll take the Mustang all day long. Not even close. Not even close. For the same price. You can either buy a Chevy Bolt or Ford Mustang for $1,000 more. GM or Ford. I would put my money on Ford. It's just a much better product, a much more attractive product, a lot better branding across what they're doing. And while I give it to GM for they're going to catch up, and there are a lot of people that like the Cadillacs and the Chevys, etc. But Ford is the driver, and this Mustang is going to be huge. They're not going to be able to keep them in stock. Good luck even trying to get a test drive on these things. Although what they do at dealers is they will force them to hold at least one or so as a demo driver for people to test drive, and they will not be able to sell it. they will get in big trouble with the manufacturers if they sell their demos that they're supposed to be able to have available for test drives. Because if you don't have one to test drive, you're not going to take orders of somebody just walking in the door and saying, "Hey, I want to test drive the Ford Mustang Mach-E." Well, sir, we don't have any of those right now, but I can show you a brochure. Well, never mind. I'm going to go to Chevy, or I'm going to go. I was over at the Tesla dealer yesterday. I wanted to compare the two, but if you don't have one to drive, I guess I'll go get the Tesla. So I might look at this one and see if I can go take a test drive on it, and maybe even film it and tell you what I like about it. But it is a nice looking vehicle. It's a beautiful vehicle, reflected in the price. Ford up another 4% today as we recover, and we're continuing the positive territory on Friday as maybe the stimulus and people settle down a little bit. They were freaking out Wednesday and Thursday. People were freaking out, and even my broadcast on Wednesday and Thursday were a little bit lower energy than typically I have. So so this is looking pretty good today. Let's see. I don't know why. So now let's see what I'm up overall on the day. Oops. There we go. Nice move. Good. So we're up about 5,600 on the day, which is a nice recovery because I was down that amount Wednesday and Thursday, I think, somewhere around there, like 4,000, I think, and then 2,000. So with the comeback on Friday and today, I'm back in positive territory over the last week or so. So which is good. So hopefully your portfolios are up as well. Again, I have some tech, but for the most part, Ford, U.S. Oil, my rotation has already happened. I do have some calls on NVIDIA that are out there. I have some calls on AMC that are out there, and I got a couple biofarms, NMTR and ITRM as well. And so the EV makers, nice run today, but again, between Ford and GM, Ford's got the better product. Ford has the better pricing. Ford has the better loyalty program, and they have the best-selling truck in America, and they will have the best-selling EV maker in America. You watch how many of these Mustangs sell compared to a Tesla, and they're gonna clean Tesla's clock on this car. Pricing alone, they will subsidize their Mach-E Mustang to buy market share and keep it more competitive and cost less than a Tesla. And you may have some gremlins in there, and you may have to make some extra trips to the dealer from the fixed things that may or may not go wrong on the vehicle. But for the most part, it's definitely something that is really good. Fantastic. Good looking day. Happy for everybody. All right, so let's take a look at let's go back to my watch list and let's take a look at the indices again. Again, the tech sector, you can see it over here as you watch it live. The VIX is down. S&P 500 is up. NASDAQ Composite, 5-minute chart, sorry. NASDAQ Composite making a nice move off the open. It's sold off on the open. Let's see where we at here. One more. Here we go. Here's where we opened at. Went up initially, then it went down. Now it's back up in a nice rise. Back above the 50 and 200 period average on the NASDAQ Composite. Well above the 50 and 200 period and the VWAP on the S&P 500. And it's going to look the same for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, except a little bit better. So 1.21% on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. S&P 500 is up 0.75%, and the NASDAQ Composite is up 0.41%. So really nice day across the board in most sectors. I think the only ones that might be down right now are the chip makers to a certain extent. And let's take a look at those. You have AMD is still down. They're down 43 cents now. There's a company that from their last earnings that they reported, they did fantastic. Look at the 1 hour chart here. And reported their earnings, and it's just been a downward spiral. They report their earnings, they slam to the downside, back down, up a little bit, but not back where they were, and then just a huge decline. Intel, for their earnings, slammed down. They've been going up. New CEO. And NVIDIA, same thing. Report their earnings. They don't report in the same time period as the other chip makers, which I find odd. Report their earnings, killed it, did fantastic. Year-over-year revenue beat. If you look down here and look at their beat, great earnings report, and just getting slammed down again, which is people taking profits. I mean, they had a nice run, and just like your Teslas of the world, they're going to take their money and they're going to run it and put it into something that they think is going to perform better. So Tesla on a nice recovery today, up $9, but again, I find them very, very risky as far as that goes. I sold my shares at $663, but like I talked about before, I missed the run up to $900. I didn't participate in that one. But having bought in the $400 range and riding it up to $663, I was pretty happy taking those profits. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the precious metal markets. It's 7:45 here Pacific time in the morning, and we have the silver market is down 8 cents on silver, and platinum is up $22, and palladium is down $9. And silver just, I don't even know if they have. Let me close some of these windows out. Close the one on Ford. Close the one on stimulus. Close the one on gas prices. Economic calendar I'll leave up. Heat map I'll leave up. So silver. Here we go. Here's the warning, folks. So Treasuries U.S. yields rise, boosted by higher inflation view. U.S. Treasury yields advanced on Monday with the belly of the curve leading the way, as investors continue to price in higher inflation and more upbeat U.S. economic prospects. 5-year and 7-year note yields were up 4 basis points, which is huge, while that of the benchmark 10-year note hit a near 13-month high. Yield curve was a little flatter on Monday, with the spread between 2-year and 10-year notes at 144.1 basis points. Okay. If you look at they're hitting on Friday its steepest since September 2015. So this has been the biggest rise in yield curve since September 2015. Here's a quote. Everybody is still concerned that inflation is on the rise. It is. The signs are there for near-term inflation, said Ellis Pfeiffer, a market strategist at Raymond James in Memphis, Tennessee. Again, we talked last week and we carried live the Jerome Powell speech that he gave at the Wall Street Journal Jobs Forum. It was an online forum. And he pretty much talked about, when it comes to inflation, that the Fed is perfectly okay with inflation coming in, which as inflation comes in, markets go this way. Inflation, treasury yields up, stock market down. They're in inverse. And they're going to be patient. And that was I think that was the biggest word that he could have used. They're going to be patient, which means they're going to let inflation come in. They're not concerned about the equity markets tanking, because they are pretty much protecting who? The bond markets. That's who they choose to protect over equities, and they'll do it every single time. Even though you'll read into their words, but they're not necessarily, they'll talk more about treasuries and bonds than they will about the equity markets. Okay. Investors are also focused on this week's $120 billion auction of 3, 10, and 30-year T-notes, treasuries, especially after last week's soft auction and a horrible 7-year note sale that saw a spike in yields. So if everybody, the reason why the auction markets might be soft is that people are anticipating interest rates to rise, then they'll hold off on their purchase. Why should I buy a 10-year treasury note today when if I wait a week or two, I can get a better yield? That leads to a soft auction market. So again, it's something that you know, we'll see what happens with these. But if you look at the TLT, 20-year treasury, up to the daily. Okay. That's a treasury bond ETF, just selling. The yield goes up. All right, back to silver. Let's take a look and let's see if the U.S. Mint has anything today for sale. Oh, is it down? Oh, there we go. Coins, bestsellers. Chris McAuliffe. Okay, so this was $74. They increased this one by $5. $17.95 on the platinum. Minus. That is $150 higher than what I paid for them. And of course, there are no American Eagles available in silver. So $73 on the American Eagle 2021 1-ounce silver proof coin. But again, you can't get this coin. They are sold out. And this is the last reverse heraldic one that they're using. And then they'll come out with new ones in the summertime. Has that beautiful West Point mint, along with the designer, who was what is the guy's name? I forget his name. James something. His initials go on the coin too. The O2 again. If we look at, let's see here, market's still staying up. Dow is now up 400. Nasdaq is up 26 points, and the S&P is up 27 points. eBay 2021 American Eagle proof. And we'll check our rover. Oh, here we go, JM Bullion. Let's see what they're selling theirs for. So $73 on the mint site. They won't even have all American Eagles. They're going to be sold out anyway. Brilliant uncirculated from $36.72. So you can buy some Brilliant uncirculated 2021 American Silver Eagle coins. But again, if the spot price of silver is at $25.08 or $25.07, you're paying a premium. 25.07 divided into 36.72. It was 12% last week. Wow, 32% premium on Brilliant uncirculated 2021 1-ounce American Silver Eagles. Crazy, 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 crazy. They don't even have any proofs. Yeah, so that's JM Bullion. take a look at eBay. Here we go. And let's see here. Okay, here we go. Okay, again, still selling them pre-sale. I already have mine. About 12 of these bad boys from the mint. So $114.95. You know, 124, 122, 135, 139, 249 graded. Look, if you buy these, leave them in the coin case that it comes with from the mint. They're actually, in my opinion, I think they're going to be worth more than you spending the money to go get it graded and spending $60 to go get it graded. You know, here's one. Somebody got theirs graded, $249. Careful on eBay. Sometimes the ones that they sell on there are not real and they're fake. But you can look at, you know, the congratulations set that you could have got for $73, $399 on eBay. You know, the proofs, $124.95. Again, dropped down from $149, but still significantly higher. That is, you know, if you got, you know, I got those things at $73, right into $125. You know, 58% premium I can get on them if I sold my coins. Not interested in selling though. So, you know, if you want to take a look at those on eBay, be very, very careful about who you're purchasing from. Just high risk. You know, here's one. You know, more than 10 available, but he sold 103. Do they have 103? Why they're showing this thing as black? That's a terrible, terrible picture. That's terrible. That's not what that is not what it looks like. That's more what it looks like. Here's a proof. You could send it as long as it's graded within the first 30 days after release, which will be in 3 days on March 11th. You can pay for it and go get it graded. I chose not to. Even though, come on, guys, you can't get an image that isn't flipped. What is that? I question if this one is even real. Stick to the US Mint. Buy them on release. Set your reminders ahead of time. All right. So again, silver, 100% manipulated market in my opinion. Absolutely manipulated. Trading at $25.17 per ounce is the spot price. Platinum spot price up $20 to $11.49, up to $11.50, and palladium down $18 down to $23.23. So $2,300 level on palladium, $1,100 to $1,200 level on platinum, and silver just continuing to sell off after it had its little run back in February. up to $28 or so. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So Dow Jones, we have. Oops. Let me get back to the screen. Here we go. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 451 points, and the Nasdaq Composite is up 34 points, and the S&P 500, nice move, up 33 points. Okay, folks, so it is coming up on 8 o'clock Pacific here, so we're going to be taking a break. We will be back in 2.5 hours at 11:30 for Power Hour, for a half hour before Power Hour, to go over what's gone on since we were last on the air. And let's see here. I think we got a few seconds left. Yeah, about 20 seconds left. So I want to thank you all for joining the stream. If you liked what you saw today, if you liked the content, like the updates, some of the things we look at, and the explanation as to why things are happening in the market and where it could be heading to next, please tune in. Again, we'll be back in 2.5 hours at 11:30 Pacific, and we'll be back for Power Hour. So until then, I'm Joseph. I'm Crypto Sonar. Thanks a lot, and for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye now.